Hi guys, it's Kay. So I had some very overripe bananas that we weren't going to eat, and I didn't want to just throw them away. So I decided to make banana nut bread. But I just didn't want any plain banana nut bread, so I decided to make chocolate banana nut bread, and that's what we're making today. So let me go ahead and take you over what we're going to need. You will need some brown sugar, some melted butter, some walnuts. This is optional. If you don't want to use nuts, you don't have to. You're going to need an egg, some baking soda, and some salt, some mini chocolate chips, some regular chocolate chips, some cocoa powder, vanilla extract, all-purpose flour, 3 very, very ripe bananas. You're also going to need a big mixing bowl, a sifter, a 9x5 loaf pan with some parchment paper. You're going to need a whisk, a spatula, a fork, and some non-stick spray. The first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and prepare your loaf pan. So what you're going to do is take your non-stick baking spray. You're going to give it a good spray. You're going to place in your parchment paper. If you wanted to do it both ways, you could. I find that just the one long way is fine. And then you're going to spray it right on top of that. You want to focus on the edges that you did not cover with parchment paper. That way you can just make sure that the loaf is going to come out easy, and then you're just going to set that aside. So we're going to start working on the batter. You're going to want to go ahead and open your bananas. You just want to make sure that they're very, very ripe, to the point where you probably wouldn't eat it. The riper the banana, the sweeter it basically gets. So just very, very ripe. You're going to put them all into a bowl. And then you're going to take your fork and then just smush them. Once you have your bananas all mashed, you're going to put your fork to the side. You're going to switch to your whisk, and what you're going to do is throw in the melted butter. You're going to whisk this until combined. It's going to look weird and it's going to take a minute. You just want to mix it all together. Okay. This looks pretty good. Now we're going to add the brown sugar. Whisk this in. That's pretty good. We're going to add our egg. And the vanilla extract. And then we're going to whisk that in. All right. You're going to set your whisk aside. And now what you want to do is start working on the dry ingredients. Before we put the dry ingredients into the wet mixture, what you want to do is take a tiny bit of it and put some in the large chocolate chips and in the walnuts. That's just going to help them not to float to the bottom while they're cooking in the oven. But you're going to basically just sift all of the dry ingredients into the wet mixture. So you're going to add the flour, the baking soda and salt, and the cocoa powder. And then you're just going to sift that in. We're almost sifting it here. And as you can see, we have those big old rocks, and that's the point of sifting, is to make sure that you don't have any big lumps of cocoa powder in your mixture, and also to make sure that the flour is nice and airy. You can take a spoon and squish them, that way you're not really wasting it, but you are going to have some that are just big lumps. A little bit more here. Okay, we're gonna set that aside, and then you're just gonna fold your batter together. Alright, so we have that nice and mixed. You don't want to over mix this too much, but you do want to make sure that everything is incorporated. And my favorite part is you can see the big chunks of banana in there, and it's just so good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just take your spoon with your chocolate chips. You're just going to toss the flour around. You just want to try to coat the chocolate chips as best you can. That looks about good. You're going to just pour those in with the extra flour and everything. And you're going to do the same thing to the nuts. If some spill over, it's no big deal. And then pour those in. And then you're just going to fold these together. Once you get them all folded and nice incorporated, you're just going to take this and put it in your prepared pan. Right in there. Make sure you get it all out. You don't want to leave none of it behind. Then you want to just take your spatula here and just even it out as best as you can. I like to give it just a few taps just to knock it down. And then you're going to take the mini chocolate chips that you have, and you're just going to sprinkle this all on top. You're going to put this in your preheated oven for about 55 to 65 minutes until you insert a toothpick and it does come out clean. You want to be aware that there are chocolate chips in there, so you may get some chocolate on the toothpick when you pull it out, but just try to make sure that it is chocolate and not batter. So I'm going to pop this in my oven. When a toothpick is inserted and comes out clean, I'll be back to show you the final result. So our chocolate banana nut bread is all done. It was in my oven for the full 65 minutes. I inserted the toothpick, it came out clean, and I let it cool for about 20 minutes. Now we're gonna go ahead and take it out of the pan so I can show you how awesome it looks. What you wanna do is just take a spatula or the back of a butter knife and run it along the sides of the pan where the parchment paper was not there, just to ensure that it's going to come out. And then you can go ahead and run it on the other sides as well, just to help it out a little bit. Then you should just be able to pull it up and put it on your whatever you're going to be cutting it on. And then you want to take the spatula, just kind of run it around the bottom and try to work the paper out from underneath it. It's going to get a little messy, and you could use your other hand to go on top if you didn't have all these chocolate chips on there, but because we do, you can't really flip it over. So you just want to try to squish it from under there. Okay. All right. So now we have it here. We're going to cut into it. You want to just take a serrated knife to do that with. Just gonna cut it open. And boy, does that look so good. You can see the nuts, the chocolate chips. I'm cutting a pretty generous pieces, but you can cut however big or little you want. Really, really yummy. This is a very moist cake, so you are going to get a little bit messy. But there we have it, guys, your banana nut bread. It looks really, really good. As you can tell, there's the nuts in there, the chocolate chips are in there, and it's just really yummy. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. If you have any suggestions of the next videos that I should do, just leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to, if you're wanting to get this recipe, get it on my blog. It's kaysrandomblog.com. The written recipe will be there. Also, the YouTube video link will be there as well. That way you can print the recipe out and follow along. But that's all I have for today, guys. Until next time, bye.